I figured that he would sooner or later realize that he was as good as dead right now, insofar as he is not in his physical body. He has been, one way or another, ejected out of it. And if his physical body had suffered the fall that the rest of them, I guess, did, you probably wouldn't have lived through it, you know? But here's what I figured while this is all going on. I figured that he would remember things I've told him. I told him before that if he ever finds himself in a situation, kind of like this one, but not the slamming face into the sidewalk kind of thing, but this kind of situation was just something's not right. Something just doesn't add up. I mean, like down there he was on the sidewalk, right? He just got thrown out the window, as far as he knows, right? Hits the sidewalk with his face. This is what he said happened to him later on. You know, like 45 minutes later. This was his story. I got thrown out of the window. That was his story. I hit my head. I hit my face, and I swear to God, the one side of his face was terribly swollen already and turning black, you know. It was it was swelling up pretty fucking fast. All right. God. And it was braised too, but it was like just a hard smack on concrete. Jesus, oh my God. All right, so look. He said he'd been calling up for the key. Why didn't I throw it down? And I told him the truth right then and there. Because you weren't down there physically. Your body was still up in the bed, man. That's what happened. And I said, I figured you'd figure that out. I didn't know what to do. And he said, I did. Here's what happened next. He stopped calling for the key. And the next thing, you know, like, it all went quiet on the street down there. Things are back to normal outdoors. Finally went into that area where he was, and there he was on the bed. Just like passed out with his face starting to swell up and so forth, you know. He was recovered and came to. That was his story, and that's what happened. That's what was observed. That's what he said. That was the experience. What can we glean from that? I would never propose that everything, the way it happened for him, the circumstances and all, is like it will be for everybody. Like, right there, that's what happens. First of all, listen. It didn't kill him. So, because he figured out his way out of it. I told him if he ever finds himself in a situation like that, you know, like for example, but like that, I mean, for example, you're talking to people, you're addressing them, at least verbally, and they act like you're not there. And things don't add up if you think about it, but you can't really think about it all because there's some really strange something going on. Very confusing, so it's kind of hard to think about it all very clear-mindedly, but things like suddenly my face feels like fucking smacked into a concrete sidewalk from 4 floors up. It feels like that. In fact, I kind of think that's exactly what just happened. That doesn't make sense. Then how am I standing here calling for a key? But no, that doesn't occur to me. No, I'm just totally out like, whoa, I don't know what the hell's really going on, right? But it suddenly occurs to me, oh, Turk Strongman once told me if I find myself in a situation like this, no matter what else is going on with it. But it meets this requirement. So, hey, look, he said I might be dead in that case. So I need to realize the situation. If not dead, then not embodied. Kicked out. In other words, like I said earlier, as good as dead. Functionally, right now, maybe open to all kinds of weird shit you weren't prepared to be open for right now. Other things taking place while you're in this mode that you might pull yourself out of. Still, yet, if you only remember what Turk Strongman said. Oh yes, he said, understand the situation, and you want to get back into your body or something like that, or you want to go somewhere else, you don't want to hang around trying to figure out what the hell's going on. You gotta give up the ghost, for God's sakes. Just intend or will to go where you want to go. And you will be there. Because that's the way it works without a physical form and physical matter to deal with. So he said, I figured out, oh yeah, that's what you told me to do. So I decided, I don't need the key. I'll just go on up into my body. At which point he thought, hey, oh yeah, I'm dead, so where's my body? Oh yeah, up there, where I fell from. That's right. Something threw me out the window, right? Okay, yeah, up there, that's where it is. So I'm right back in my body. You guys were waking me up. There's a story, okay. What can we glean from that? We can take a variety of things out of this, right? But certainly there will be something strange that you might not figure out at first. There's something in it for it. And there may also be something, more obvious, I'm trying to get people's attention, and I might as well just be a ghost here. Now you got two things going on, right? That you notice. And you try to go somewhere and it doesn't work right. How about that? There was another one. There's three. Who knows what situation will be in place, what conditions will be in place, where we can take a couple of things from them. Another is that you have control. If only you know what's going on and how to manage the situation. In this case, it was my friend Mike, just flew in a sense, whatever he has there that's down there on the sidewalk, thinking, oh yeah, all I have to do is go up there and just fly up, So I flew up. Whatever he means by I flew up, the center of his awareness, the focal point of it, that is his individual section of, a segment of consciousness. Just went to a different location without having to go up the stairs. All right. So things are more plastic. Things are more fluid. In fact, things will, if you really will something to happen, maybe, it can be pretty easily made happen. What about the effect that your beliefs that you just entered this death situation with? If you have memory, will you have memory? Will you remember the life that you just died from? Right then? If you do, what are you thinking now? It's a little surprising. What's happening now? It's a little, that's pretty different, I think. Unexpected. Yeah. Huh. Not the sort of thing you can experience, right? Like, looking at something you can't unsee. You can't unsee it. You can't unhear it. Well, this is you. You can't live it? What's going on at this point? Dying, right? That life. What happened? Whoa. Okay. What's my point? What else can we get from this? You have control. You can affect it. You can affect it. But just like when you had your body, your consciousness was easily hijacked and your perception was easily deceived. Pretty much both of those were going on all the time throughout your whole life. To some extent, in various directions, all at the same time, just like a web of it going on. Okay, what about right now? Huh? This moment we're talking about. And you're like out to lunch during it. What kind of deception and hijacking can go on right there? No, you come on, man. Think about that. Now, really? With me? This is grand cosmic sojourn deception, consciousness hijacking, and perception deception, industrial strength, man. I'm talking. Okay? I don't know how else to say this. This is very real. This might be the most real thought that anybody has ever planted into your brain, your mind, and your consciousness. Right now, this. Come to think of it, because that's how it's hitting me. I think rightly so. What control can you have? What must you know? What more must you know about the situation? Whatever it is, no matter how you may perceive it, misperceive it, non-perceive it, take it to be whatever. There must be a few things that you can come into that situation with already in order. Well established. So no matter what your state of mind is, or the state of consciousness is, these characteristics are coming with you in full swing. What would those things be? It seems to me to be pretty clear that there must be some things that you're going to have to work on developing a lot and using together. Because everything else, everything is going to come apart. It's going to get jarred hard. And some parts are going to be left behind pretty fast at that moment. It's a hard knock. If there's some being there where your friends show up, familiar voices, familiar faces, religious, deities, saints, ancestors, beings of light, Pleiadians, whatever. I don't think any of them, if they're making you feel better and they're attracting you, because they seem to have something good for you to offer, something attractive, be careful. You don't know the nature of any of this. As far as you know, as far as you can know right now, at that point, the most you can know about it is that this never happened before that you know anything about, man. This is different. than everything else you have ever experienced, as far as you know. Or will that not be the way it is? Maybe the laws will be changed, the rules will be changed about stuff like that at the moment you die, huh? What? You don't know what the hell's going to go on, and you're probably not going to know much about what's going on when it's going on. And that's a damn good time, though, to know what the hell is going on and know what to do about it, how to conduct yourself, no matter what you take yourself to be, no matter how confused and disoriented you are, no matter how fragmented you might be, or no matter how soothed into peaceful sleep you might be. Don't lose control of yourself. But that has to be a habit that comes in with you, because you might be out black for a while. At a time when you might want the parts of you that operate in a total black will be at work, because you made sure of it before. Now, that has to do with a way of being, you see. And at the moment when you need that, in this direction that we're talking about here, you know, a big moment. That's not the time to start thinking about getting good at it. That won't work. No. That won't help you any more than a penny would right then. You want to take control of your development? Or you want to set things up? You're just dealing with the mechanics of the situation. It's a technical thing here. You know, there's nothing to be emotional about this. There are forces, energies, beings, whatever, experiences, planes, deception, confusion, partial information, misinformation, disinformation. It all still happens, whether you have a body or not. It's still going on. It wasn't just happening with physical matter, and that was it. All right, so it's still going on, right? But it's all new for you. You're not used to this. You don't know the chemistry of this operation. You don't know the mechanics of the operation. You don't know the formulas for the operation, the math. What you bring with you, though. Developed properly, having your ducks in a row properly, none of that rest will matter. You won't get trapped. Don't want to get trapped. Dude, you don't want to get trapped into anything, or tricked into anything, or misled into anything, or deceived into anything, or come under the spell of illusion into anything, into misunderstanding over anything, nothing. You don't want that shit right then, do you? Well, so you're just gonna let it happen, whatever it happens. is what happens. That's it. Consider how well that might work. Huh? Consider all the kinds of things that could get you into. Versus just be ready for anything. So this is going to be whither bound, pilgrim? Whither bound? Give the video a thumb up, subscribe, activate the notification bell feature to be apprised for new uploads here at Mind Bodies Institute. Make a note of that donation by PayPal information, email address down there in the video description area. I ask you to go ahead and donate. This channel could really use some help like that. That'd be cool. I don't think anybody ever has through PayPal. Help me make a change, help change that. Yeah, be the first. So I'm Turk Strawman, current resident, Mind Bodies Institute. Thanks for tuning in. Be well. Wake up and die right.